Good morning. Happy Sunday. Welcome to your early morning intuitive guidance. I'm Dr. Bonnie Nussbaum, here with some words of wisdom to get us moving forward for this new week. And I actually handpicked this deck today rather than muscle testing. Good morning, Jo Neal. Welcome. It looks like someone else is here too, but your name isn't rolling. Two more of you. Welcome, welcome. Glad you're here. So, Peggy, good morning. Good morning. Welcome. So we have a card deck that I picked today on purpose by hand. Good morning, Abigail. Thank you for all the fun little emoticons. And I'm hoping that it resonates for all of you the way the card resonates for me. Good morning, Cindy. Welcome. Good morning, Carolyn. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Everybody's starting to roll in. I'm a few minutes later than usual today. Yes. Good morning, Janine. Yesterday was a fun day. Went to a cousin's house, and a bunch of the cousins who, the only time we get together anymore is funerals. So we decided that was enough of that crap. And so it was a beautiful day. She has a beautiful house. Bunch of relatives we hadn't seen in ages. Good morning, Mel. Welcome, welcome. So it was a very nice. Dad even missed church in order to hang out with the cousins. So he'll be going this morning, and yeah, it was very, very pleasant. Oh, and food. Oh, food. Huge table full of stuff everybody brought. In fact, there's a taco salad recipe I have to get from one of my cousins. And then the counter island was full of desserts. I brought dessert. Rhubarb crunch, fresh out of the patch. It was awesome. So we had a good time. I think by the time I went home, out of a 9x13 pan, there was one little strip left at the end, which my daughter was very happy about because she didn't attend and she wanted some crunch. So it was good. So let's take a few nice deep breaths, ready to open ourselves up for the messages coming forth today. Letting your shoulders drop. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Curiosity filling you about what is in this card today. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Again, Notes from the Universe on Abundance by Mike Dooley. And the card, anybody been to that particular edifice? I have. So, it says, do you know what's 1,000,000 times better than getting to the top of the mountain? Getting there after having been lost. Oh yeah, the universe. Do you know what's 1,000,000 times better than getting to the top of the mountain? Getting there after having been lost. Oh yeah, the universe. So, how many of us have at least one area in our life right now where we feel like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know where I am. I don't know what comes next. I don't know. And what we've been talking about in recent cards is the taking the tack of, I'm just going to keep stepping forward. I'm just going to keep stepping forward in faith, and I'm going to see how this thing unfolds. I wonder how this is going to turn out, in the words of my friend Lynn Schuster, with a smile on your face, right? So, certainly for the affordable housing project I'm working on, this is a common state of affairs. I wonder how this is going to work out. I wonder what's going to come next. Well, didn't see that coming. Isn't this interesting? I wonder how they'll deal with that. So, making it more lighthearted, not taking it so seriously, exercising, practicing your faith and trust that this will indeed unfold. However it's going to go, it's going to go. 5 years from now, I'm not going to be in this same spot. Something will have changed. Is it going to be on our particular timeline? Not necessarily. The universe works on its own timeline. Divine right timing, divine right order, right? We exercise the faith and trust when we practice. I'm so happy and grateful now that this has unfolded in divine right timing and divine right order. I know that even if I'm at the beginning of something and I can't see how it's going to unfold, I have faith and trust it will unfold. The answer's already winging its way to me. Practicing staying in that state of mind, and I'll have the opportunity today to do so. We have an ad hoc meeting at the church about the project, so there may be a fair number of times where we practice the faith and trust of this will unfold. This will unfold. How about for you? Are there certain aspects of that divine unfolding that make it harder for you? Like, is it harder for you if there's other people involved? Is it harder for you if there's certain people involved? Is it harder for you if someone else is being a naysayer? Is it harder for you if someone else is playing their cards very close to their vest and you have no idea what they're thinking? Is it harder for you if it has taken a long time already? What are the aspects that make it more difficult for you to exercise your faith and trust, to step into that flow, to allow things to unfold in divine right timing and divine right order? Because then we can address those. Good morning, Diane. Welcome. Glad you are here. There. Ooh, let's take a peek at that. That's helpful too. Again, I like surrounding myself with believes because it works. And I've got a new one. I think I've shown it to you a couple of times, but it feels like it would be relevant to this conversation because it would be easy at times to just say, to heck with it. I'm throwing my hands up. I'm crawling under my rock. I'm not dealing with this, blah, blah, blah. And sometimes we do that for a 2 or 3 minute white hot pity party, and then we get over ourselves and we move on. But would my unstoppable self do that? Would my unstoppable self do that? Because if I look at that card and my answer is nope, she wouldn't. She would do X instead, then I'm going to step into doing X. We're human. We're human. We get discouraged. We get upset. We hang on too tightly. We do all these human foibles that can make some of these things more intense and more difficult. So we need to look to ourselves. We need to look to ourselves as our own savior in these processes, whatever it is we're doing. We've got many of us have many things that we're doing, right? Maybe it's dealing with difficult family members. How am I showing up? Am I showing up already combative? That's not going to be helpful. How do I do this in a way that allows others grace? Yes, negativity from others can be very draining. But take a peek, dig a little bit deeper, Carolyn, because I'll guarantee you there's some aspect of yourself that you're putting out there to connect with the negativity. You're not detached from it. So look to see, what are those chords? Is it the chord of, I want harmony? Is it the chord of, I should be able to fix this? Is it the chord of, people have expectations of me around this, blah, blah, blah. Yes, especially if it's a spouse, if it's one of your kids who still lives at home, if it's someone you're dealing with all the time, that does make it more difficult. What will you do? Acknowledge that difficulty. Absolutely acknowledge that difficulty. And then what will you do about it to mitigate those difficulties? So it might be putting up a little note like that. Would my unstoppable self do that? Would my unstoppable self get hooked by this? There we go. Yes, I need to fix it. So mess around with it. Play a game with yourself. The same way as kids, we'd lay in the grass and look up at the clouds and see stuff. Whether there's an elephant, make this a game. How now will I disconnect from this? How will I let go of the belief that I have to fix it? How will I let this be someone else's problem? So it can be as simple as just saying something like, yeah, that's a difficult thing. What are you thinking you're going to do about it? What are you thinking your options are? What are you going to try next? Clearly sending the message, this ain't mine to fix. This ain't mine to fix. And if you feel like on some level, take a look at what are the underpinnings of that? What makes you think it's yours to fix? And if you still decide this is mine to fix, what about inviting in divine right helpers? Okay, I'm supposed to fix this. I have no idea how to fix this. I invite divine wisdom to come upon me and help me make a decision. And I will wait. I will wait. Yes, they want you to fix it, but you're not doing it anymore. Yes. And I'm going to share a visualization that I think helps with this. So, but I will wait. I will wait for the guidance. I will wait for the answer. If someone says, well, are you going to do something about this? Yes, I'm waiting for my divine right helpers to give me the guidance. I'm not sure what to do about this, so I'm waiting for the guidance. And then I will step forward. I will step forward in faith. Carolyn, the thing that I think is helpful with that, there you go. That's absolutely honest, Cindy. So we'll address that. Is pretend that you are a vending machine. You're a vending machine. They've come up to you over the course of your entire lifetime, put their coins in, hit the button, get a response. Mega Helper kicks in, right? They put their money in, they hit a button, they get Mega Helper. They put their money in, they hit the button, they get Mega Helper. Now, they put their money in, they hit the button, nothing happens. Mega Helper's on vacation. Nobody shows up. What do? They hit the coin return, they punch the button harder, they shake the machine, they escalate. That is what human beings do. That's what other creatures do too in that circumstance. When you don't get the response that has always been forthcoming, you escalate. Now, does that go on forever? No. But they'll poke and they'll prod and they'll try to get it. So the vending machine, they wiggle all the things, they shake the machine, they stomp off for a while. Sometimes they come back and they try it again. I wonder if it'll be different today. No response. So continue to be steadfast in your unwillingness to fall into that old pattern. Nope, sorry, not doing that again. Nope, doesn't work for me. Thanks, no. Feel free to take over. So now, with those two that Cindy just put up, the need for validation and the concern that they're going to talk about you, look at the power that you're giving whoever that is. Look at the power you're giving away. And this is about your ego self. This isn't about that divine wise part of you that's connected to all that is. How much do you think Jesus worried about people talking about him? When you have the willingness to operate out of your heart and soul, which is a big call. It's a big call for all of us. Then that ego stuff drops off. It becomes more like the kid sitting in the back of the bus, whining. Are we there yet? Well, you're supposed to turn left, not right. How come it's taking so long? And the bus driver has to learn how to do what? Tune that out. Tune that out. I am the driver of the bus. I know where I'm going. We're going. Or I'm the driver of the bus. I'm waiting for my instructions where we're going. The kid in the back of the bus is not the driver. Can they complain a lot? Absolutely. But they are not the driver. So, and taking a peek at that validation piece. Usually what's under that, you ready for it, Cindy? Is us not validating ourselves. We expect that to come from outside of us. We expect someone else to figure out what it is that we need, what we're looking for. And sometimes we can be very direct with somebody about that. I need you to tell me I'm doing a good job. I oftentimes say to the universe, throw me a bone here. Throw me a bone here. So that validation is coming out of your ego self. How do you soothe that child who's fretful in the back of the bus, worrying about how we're going to get where we're going? It can be as simple as saying, I am the driver of the bus. You are the rider on the bus. Do your very best job of riding. I will do my very best job of driving. Over and over and over again. Yes, absolutely. And my challenging question to you is, when will you be willing to annihilate that belief? When will you be willing to cut the cord of, I must worry about what other people think? It's a challenge. It's not comfortable. It can make us crabby when someone brings that kind of a thing forth. When are you going to be willing to cut this cord? And then the useful question that comes next is, what do you believe you need in order to cut this cord? And say it out loud. Because when you say it out loud, you'll hear the folly in the thought process. So what do you need in order to cut that cord of always being worried about what other people think? Well, I need to know what they think. Wait a minute. No, I don't. Or I need them to think what I want them to think. Wait a minute. No, I don't. You'll catch it. When you say it out loud and you hear it, it'll clang weird on your ears. When you just let it operate subconsciously without even putting words to it, it's too easy for it to run amok. Just way too easy for it to run amok. This is a prime area where we can practice some impeccable self-care. How do I take good care of myself in the face of others' disgruntlement with me? I'm certainly running into that with I've got some neighbors who aren't happy right now. I've got some church people who aren't happy right now. And did I have to do some discernment on, okay, what might need to be changed here about how I'm doing what I'm doing? And there were some tweaks I decided to make. But also, I realize it's not my job to please all these people. Many of them, some of them, a handful of them, aren't pleasable because of how they've structured their life, how they've structured their thought process about themselves and others. They're not going to be happy. I can see that from a distance. My little brother, way back in the day, had a t-shirt that said, "It must suck to be you." Pretty cheeky, but there's a point there. When we choose to steep ourselves in that negative thinking, we're shooting our own foot. We are shooting our own foot. We are making the choice to be miserable. Call up these things. Find these things. Look at these things. Okay, yes, this is what I was taught. Do I want to continue to feed that dragon? No. Does it make me happy? No. Does it help me move forward in life? No. Is it reality? No. It's the reality I've chosen by feeding that dragon. I can choose different. I can. So, that is our card for today. Let me show it to you again for those of you who've popped on after the fact. Let me read it again. Do you know what's 1,000,000 times better than getting to the top of the mountain? Getting there after having been lost. Yes, the shit-colored glasses. We get to decide. We get to change them. And again, that doesn't mean that we don't have our 3-minute white-hot pity party. I'm pretty famous for those. But then we get on with it. Given these circumstances, what do I choose to do differently? If what I'm doing isn't working, and given these circumstances, what do I choose to do differently? And I'm going to do that. So, have an awesome Sunday. Enjoy some of the beautiful day. Take some time for you. Do some pondering. Enjoy nature, whatever moves you forward. But realizing again that sometimes having been lost makes the outcome all that much better. Because you've had the opportunity to walk through I don't know where I'm going, but I'm just going to keep stepping forward in faith. See you tomorrow. Remember, you're capable of far more than you think you are. Bye-bye.